What should you eat for breakfast? Is bread okay? Should you switch to tapioca and fruit juice? Is it too much sugar? There's a lot of information on the internet and you end up completely lost, not knowing what's healthy or not. But in this video, I'm going to bring you 7 easy, cheap, and healthy options. Hello family, welcome to another video here on our channel. In this video, a breakfast that will make you healthier and help you lose weight. Of course, this video deserves your like, deserves your thumbs up, and also deserves to be shared in your groups. And my friends, I'm participating in the iBest Award for the best health influencer in Brazil. So if you like my work, give me your vote. It doesn't even take 5 seconds. Just click here, the link will appear, the QR code will also show up, and it will also be in the description of this video. You can vote every day. Each day counts as 1 vote until June 13th. And of course, don't forget to share it in your groups. I'm counting on you. And tell me what you eat for breakfast. Comment below, is breakfast the most important meal of the day? Or is that just American marketing to sell cereal? Actually, we should have our meal no matter what time it is. When we're hungry, when our body asks for nutrients. So there's no such thing as the most important meal. For example, I'm not hungry in the morning. I take advantage of this period to do intermittent fasting, which brings me several benefits, but that's not the topic of this video. But Moacir, I can't go without my breakfast. I'm as hungry as a lion in the morning. So what should I eat? Well, you need to remember that you've spent at least 8 hours overnight fasting. Your body needs hydration first. So the first thing you should do is hydrate yourself. Drink plenty of water. Second important point, your insulin is low. Insulin is a hormone whose function is to move glucose inside the cells. It's an obesogenic hormone that makes us gain weight because it takes that sugar and stores it as fat. So, ideally, you should try to keep your insulin as low as possible. That's why I fast in the morning. But if you need to eat, you have to prioritize foods that don't cause what we call an insulin spike. They don't make your insulin shoot up. Because then you'll gain weight and develop insulin resistance, which will end up causing metabolic syndrome and could lead to diabetes in the future. So let's go. First, what not to eat, okay? The typical Brazilian breakfast is the worst possible example, okay? Bread with margarine, coffee with milk and sugar by far have almost no nutrients, okay? This meal contains almost no nutrients. Bread doesn't have vitamins. It has very little protein, very few minerals, few nutrients. Coffee and sugar, don't even mention it. It just raises your insulin and causes weight gain. Milk has a little bit of protein, a little bit of vitamins, but by far, it's the worst of the meals. So Moacir, what are my alternatives? Is bread in the morning a good option? No, bread in the morning is not a good option. Why? First, because it contains gluten, which is highly inflammatory. It inflames our intestines, causes leaky gut, and increases our inflammation. We've already discussed the cause and what inflammation leads to over time, right? A series of chronic and degenerative diseases. So bread, cookies, rolls, anything that has wheat flour, I don't recommend it. I don't think it's a good alternative. And another food that also has almost no nutrients and spikes your insulin. Remember, insulin, the one that makes you store fat. That's everything you don't want, right? So, Moacir, I heard that I can swap bread for tapioca. That solves one problem, right? Tapioca, which is made from cassava flour, doesn't have gluten. So that inflammation issue is taken care of. That's a good swap. However, tapioca has the same glycemic index, if not very similar to bread. Again, it has few nutrients and spikes your insulin. What can you do to fix that? Fill that tapioca with protein. You can add chicken, you can add eggs, you can add beef. It's an option. You reduce the insulin spike and add more nutrients because after all, you're eating to get nutrients. But I have a better option for you, okay? Couscous, but not plain couscous, all right? Couscous stuffed with protein, whether it's egg, chicken, or beef. Couscous is cornmeal, but it's a coarser flake. It has a lower glycemic peak, so it doesn't spike insulin as much. And when you add egg, beef, or chicken, you reduce that insulin spike even more. That's a good alternative for your breakfast. If you haven't tried it yet, give it a try. It's really tasty. Next, an option that I think is by far one of the best, omelet. You can make scrambled eggs, you can make an omelet, you can make eggs in various ways. It's a very versatile food and it's a very complete food. Eggs have a lot of protein. Eggs have good fats. Eggs have lutein and zeaxanthin, which are essential for the eyes, and choline, which is essential for the brain. So it's a more than complete food. And you can add fine herbs to your omelet. You can make it in many different ways. So it's one of the foods, maybe the most recommended for you to eat at breakfast. It's very rich and has little effect on your insulin. Fruits, Moacir, I can't go without fruits in the morning. Well, if you can't go without fruits in the morning, here are some tips, okay? Choose fruits that aren't too sweet. Here are some examples: avocado, strawberry, walnuts, and nuts. Walnuts and nuts aren't fruits, but they're also very rich and don't really affect your insulin. Avocado is definitely my favorite. Have you tried it with egg? It may sound odd, but it's delicious. Avocado has healthy fats, omega-9 soluble fiber. It's an extremely rich fruit. Moacir, but what I really like is sweet fruit. I like papaya, I like melon, I like banana. Okay. Want to eat it in the morning? Do this. Save it for last. Never start your breakfast with sweet fruits, with anything sweet. Remember when I said your insulin is low? Eating something sweet makes it rise quickly. If you save those sweet fruits for last, like a dessert, you reduce that insulin impact. You see, you can eat many things, but there's a correct order. And milk, Moacir? Can I drink milk? Can I give milk to my son? I prefer yogurt, okay? Because milk has a protein known as casein, which is also inflammatory, a very large protein. When you turn this milk into yogurt, a lot of that protein breaks down, and yogurt has many more nutrients than milk. Moacir, yogurt is expensive. You can make it at home, okay? There are several recipes on the internet for how to make yogurt at home. Nothing I've mentioned here so far is expensive. On the contrary, you can have a very nutritious, very rich breakfast, and everything I've talked about will even help you lose weight. Because these are dense, nutritious foods that make you feel full. You'll have breakfast around 7 in the morning and you won't feel hungry around 10. If you eat bread with margarine, you'll get hungry. But if you eat what I'm talking about, you won't. You'll easily make it to lunch. Juice, Moacir. I can't go without orange juice. I can't go without juice. Look, if you're not diabetic, and if you don't have a weight problem, it's okay for you to drink fruit juice. Prefer natural juice, okay? No boxed juice. But if you have these problems, diabetes, excess weight, the juices that are allowed, lemon, of course, without sugar. You can use sweetener, prefer natural sweeteners. Lemon, passion fruit, hibiscus, okay? I make a hibiscus soda, my friends. That's just amazing. It's sensational! The recipe's on my Instagram. Not following me? Go follow me. I showed how to make hibiscus soda. Very refreshing, very tasty. It can be an alternative to sweeter juices. Our podcast is already live. The first episode, probably by the time this video comes out, the second episode will also be live. Will show up there for you to subscribe. Subscribe to our podcast. I'm going to bring the top health experts from Brazil, also that you can live longer, better, and with more quality of life. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, it doesn't cost anything. It's free. Just click on subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell. Don't forget to select all. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a comment. What do you eat for breakfast? type it below. I'll wait for you in our next conversation, friends. See you then.